Welcome to day 206 of the New Way. I'll read Luke 18, 1 through 8. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, "In a certain town there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared what people thought. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with the plea, 'Grant me justice against my adversary.' For some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, 'Even though I don't fear God or care what people think, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice so that she won't eventually come and attack me.' And the Lord said, 'Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth?'" Jesus told this parable to help his listeners understand that we must be persistent in our prayers and not give up. First, let's look at the parable itself. There was a widow who needed help because someone had wronged her. Her status as a widow meant that she had very few legal rights. She could not own property, and she had no husband to protect or provide for her. She went to a judge who had a particular reputation. Listen to Luke 18:2. He said, "In a certain town there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared what people thought." But because she was persistent in coming and begging for help, he finally helped her to get her off of his back. Do you think Jesus is saying that God is like this judge? I certainly don't. I believe that what he is saying is that just as we are persistent in earthly matters with earthly judges, we should be persistent in spiritual matters. Some people pray for something a couple of times or maybe for a week, then give up. I have 2 outstanding prayer requests that I bring to God every single day. One began in 1999, the other in 2001. I am certain that both will eventually be answered, but in the meantime, I wait expectantly. I know that God is at work, and I thank him and trust him because he promises to bring justice and righteousness. Prayer is something we continue day after day until we get an answer from God. Now, sometimes God says no. If we are sure he has said no, then we need to quit praying about it because God has already answered. But in many cases, God wants us to keep praying so that he can work in our hearts and change us into people of great faith. Then Jesus asked an interesting question in Luke 18:8. He says, "Do you think he will find faith when he comes to earth the second time?" In his service, Dale.